Hi, this is Sean Henricksen here from the Sean Henricksen Law Firm, where we help good people like you avoid the devastating consequences of criminal charges. Today, we're talking a little bit about trials, what you could expect at a trial, and some of the good things and some of the bad things about going to trial. Before we get to that, we do have a free download for you. It's 4 things you should be doing if you've been arrested. You can click the link down in the notes and we can make sure to send that right out to you. And if you're being charged with a crime here in San Antonio, we've got a link where you can schedule a free consultation. I'd be happy to sit down and discuss your case with you and answer any questions that you may have. I actually get asked relatively frequently, what is a trial or what can somebody expect at trial? And so just starting with the foundational level, if you're being charged with a crime in the United States, whether that's speeding or murder or anything in between, you've got the right to a trial by jury. And essentially what that means is that it would be a group of citizens who would be deciding whether you're guilty or not guilty for whatever crime you're accused of committing. The size of that jury is going to depend on what level of crime you're being accused of. So if that's like a Class A or Class B misdemeanor, it's going to be a jury of 6 people. If you're being charged with a felony, then it'll be 12 people that are ultimately deciding whether or not you committed whatever you're being accused of. In a trial, there are basically 2 main stages to the trial itself. The first is a guilt-innocent phase, and at that phase of the trial, what the jury is trying to decide is they're trying to decide whether the accused person is guilty or not guilty of whatever crime they're being accused. If the jury finds that they're not guilty, then that's the end of everything and everybody essentially can go home. If the jury finds that the defendant's guilty, then the trial moves on to a second phase, and that's the sentencing phase where the jury is trying to determine what the appropriate punishment is for whatever they've convicted this person of. There are some good things and there are some bad things about having a trial by jury. One of the great things about having a trial by jury is that ultimately it's up to members of the community who should be able to follow the law and hopefully are not too biased to make that decision about whether you're guilty or not guilty. And that verdict has to be unanimous. If the state fails to convince even one of those jurors beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty, then they can't come back with a guilty verdict. Trial by juries are great, but there are some downsides to them too. Anytime you're having a trial, there's always some risk because ultimately, whether the jury finds that you're guilty or not guilty is in the hands of the jury. You've got no control over what they ultimately come to and ultimately decide. Trials can also be really stressful. Having to sit there while the state calls witness after witness to try and convince the jury that you're guilty is not very much fun, and it can be really stressful for a lot of people. And unfortunately, sometimes the jury gets it wrong. Ultimately, no matter how good of a case we think that we've put on, we never really know what's going to happen or what the jury is going to come back with until they come back and read their verdict. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If it has, I'd certainly appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions about anything that I've said in this video, or if you're being charged with a crime here in San Antonio, feel free to click down to that link below and schedule a free consultation with us, or you can give us a call at 210-942-4997, and I'd be happy to discuss your case with you. I hope you have a great day.